presented by Greenway Equipment. We want you to get lost with one of Lost Pizza's 10 delicious signature pizzas, or you can create your own. Lost Pizza has those Mississippi Delta hot tamales, queso, wings, sandwiches, spinach dip, salad, subs, and pastas. Come see us here at Lost Pizza on Southwest Drive or at their Hilltop location in Jonesboro. We're a few minutes away from the conversation with A-State senior guard Matt Kamen, but right now I want to welcome in to Lost Pizza for the very first time, the head coach of the A-State men, Ryan Pannone. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well, thank you. I appreciate it. This is a big time turnout here at Lost Pizza. Really cool experience to have our very first chance to do our radio show. And one thing I want to make sure is clear: the champs are here. Our women's program is crushing it. If anyone gets a chance, get out and see them. They're not just winning. And this is something people don't know because Coach Dennis isn't always going to talk about it. We share a gym next to them, okay? So we get a chance to hear how hard they work. And these women aren't just winning by chance. They are winning because they work their butts off. They are in the gym, getting better, and they are constantly, I mean, you can hear them. They come back and they beat Arkansas, they're in the gym. And they live in the gym, and the reason why they're winning because of the way that they work, the way that their coaching staff has done, and they're setting the bar for A-State athletics. They're setting the bar for us. I mean, there's no doubt that this women's team is crushing it. They deserve all the support that this community can give them. We got to pack the gym for them because they're excited. If you get a chance to watch them, when you talk about toughness, this team is the epitome of toughness. They get out, they force turnovers. We talk about our men's team before every game. We got to bully the bullies. They're the bullies. They show up in the game and they straight bully you. And they're incredible and they're fun to watch. They play super fast pace, and what Coach Dez and our staff has done and what those women have done is incredible, and they're really setting the bar for us.
Yeah, echo every word you just said there, Coach. And obviously they've got it rolling, but your team with a 100% new coaching staff, 100% new roster this year. I know there were a lot of question marks. I know you were anxious to see how this would all play out. And I'll kind of start you off the same way I did with Coach Dez a while ago. Sitting 15 games in, kind of at the midway point of the season. You're at 10-5 overall. You're 2-1 in the Sun Belt. You played the bulk of your schedule on the road. Are you where you expected to be at this point?
Yeah, in many ways. I mean, our staff did a really good job of recruiting talented players that are really good human beings. And you know, I'd say I'm where we expected to be, but also where we hoped to be. If you would have told me in the summer we'd be 10-5 and 2-1 in conference and had won as many road games as we did, I would have been really happy, but also I would have expected that because we recruited good players. The way that our team has come together, and I think if you watch us play, even in the last game, we lost to James Madison, but I wouldn't say that we played bad. We missed shots. We shot 25% from three, we shot 50% at the rim, 60% from the free throw line. We're one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country. 63% of the three-point attempts that we took were good threes, and on average, we shoot 40% on those, and for the game, we shot 25%. So for us, you know, to be 10-5, I thought we actually played pretty well against James Madison, and we're a little bit more process-orientated than result-orientated, even though it's a results-orientated business. The way that our team played, they competed really hard. We got 40% of our offensive rebounding. They played physical, they played unselfish, and to be 10-5 with two close losses like that Rice, we didn't play well. There's a difference. James Madison would just miss shots. And coming into play in Troy, which is going to be a really tough opponent for us, I'm expected, but also was hopeful we'd be where we are.
We'll preview Troy and Texas State, those games coming up a little bit later on this week, and we'll preview that at the end of the program. But Angie Gallagher is here. She says, Coach, you did an amazing job recruiting from scratch, and our bench is amazing. And to kind of follow that up, I know that's what you feel is one of the big strengths of this team, just the depth. You're going to play 10 or 11 guys on a given night. We've seen that already this year. And here you are leading the conference. You're 16th in the country in bench points. There's a lot of guys that can step up and kind of be the guy for it.
Yeah, I think that's what makes us dangerous is our overall depth. And obviously it's shown throughout different injuries of different players. But the depth of our team is a big strength. and also then the way that they act on the bench. Because I think if you look at our bench energy, along with our bench points, it's really high. And so they're cheering for each other, they're celebrating each other's success, which in a world of what could be selfishness, in a world of everyone is Instagram ready, to where they're only worried about themselves, their success, how do they look, to the outside world, I think our bench has just done an amazing job of celebrating each other's success. And then our starting lineups have changed quite a bit. And you can see, we're fortunate that someone can come in the game, and at any given night it could be their game, and they can help lead us to the victory.
All right, Ron Bowman is here. He wants to know a couple of big man questions. His first is, will Chudy Diarama be back soon? Also, how much will it help Ro Omed's development to have him enrolled and practicing already?
Chudy, we expect to be back. He had a practice today where he had some limitations just in terms of working him back into the rotation, and he was great. He was a little bit sore after, but barring a hiccup, we expect him to be back for these upcoming games. But it was, obviously he's played really well in the last 6 games. We've seen him turn the table, and we track what we have is called leverage, meaning are we better with you on the offensive side of the floor, which we track with points per possession, and then we have defensive leverage, and then your offense minus your defensive leverage is your overall leverage. And in the last 6 games, he's one of our highest leverage players. And so the impact he's made in figuring out how to make winning plays in the last 6 games has been huge, and we really missed him last game, but we expect him to be back. And then Rob, that's coming in at the break, is he's already started to practice with us, and absolutely for his development physically, to get a year to get adjusted to play against these guys every day in practice is going to be huge for him next year. Kind of give him and the other guys that we have sitting out with Grayson and West, and CJ's been injured, but it's going to give those guys kind of a leg up as redshirt freshmen.
We're going to be visiting with Matt Heyman when we come back from the break. He's one of the guys that you brought in, a senior transfer that had a lot of experience, been a couple of seasons at Stephen F. Austin. But tell us about Matt, what he's meant to your team, and why he was the right fit for your program.
I tell this story when his head coach was a friend of mine at Stephen F. Austin. I got him fired, and Matt had entered the portal, and I got a text message that said, Matt Heyman, Navy SEAL. And his head coach at Stephen F. Austin is totally crazy. He'll tell you all about it. The guy was insane. And if that guy is saying that someone's a Navy SEAL, this guy's got elite toughness. That, like, when he says the word Navy SEAL, that's like the ultimate compliment coming from a total crazy person. And as soon as he said that, I was like, all right, this guy can't shoot at all. And I looked him up real quick. I was like, oh, 37% from 3. This is a home run. And so Matt was really the first guy we recruited. And we're fortunate to get the commitment out of him. And we got him, and all summer long he played really well for us. And obviously in the beginning of the season he struggled. And this is one of the big things that people got to understand. We've got 15 new players playing a totally different way. And the way that we play to them is forward. It's new to our staff, but also what we value is very different than what most programs value. And so he's done a really good job, as you can see, to where like getting a little bit more comfortable in how we play and what we expect out of him. And he's flourishing, and we're seeing that the last couple games. But what he means to our team is toughness. And to give you the story, obviously he got hurt 2 games ago, everyone saw it. And Joey kind of got a little banged up, so we go to the doctors to get an x-ray. And so Joey's getting an x-ray of his leg. Okay, we look at it, he's good. And I thought Matt is getting an x-ray of his leg, and the doctor pulls up an x-ray of his rib, and I was like, why are we looking at his rib? Because he fractured his rib like weeks ago. And I haven't heard a single complaint about it. Like, he went from being wrapped, for some of the games, and the doctors, I was like, why are we looking at his rib? His rib is fine. And the doctor's like, no, it's not. It's still fractured. And I was like, I haven't heard a single complaint.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's playing with a fractured rib. I thought he's been fine the whole time. And so, the toughness that Matt plays with, he never wants to sit out. It doesn't matter what happened. He's always going to bring that toughness to our team, and you can feel it when he enters the game. He's extremely tough.
All right, we're going to let you grab something to eat. We'll talk to you coming up here in a few minutes, but right now, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll be joined by Matt Heyman. Stay tuned. Presented by Greenway Equipment for just a couple of more minutes as we are rejoined by Head men's coach Ryan Pannone. Tonight's opponent preview sponsored by Arkansas Blue Cross and Blue Shield, official health insurer for A-State Athletics. Take good care, Arkansas. Your team played the first 2 games last week of a 4-game homestand. You have 2 more this week, and it starts Wednesday night against the defending tournament champions. You take on Troy at 7 o'clock, and I know you've been getting ready for this bunch. What stands out when you watch the Trojans?
I mean, number one, experience. They're returning multiple players off their NCAA tournament team last year. And experience, culture, toughness, super well coached and very skilled. And so they provide some matchup problems for us that we've spoken with our guys about, that we're either going to have to adjust to them or they're going to have to adjust to us, and that's going to be on you. You're going to have that opportunity to force them to adjust. But you can see their experience, their connectivity, and they're just further along than most teams in the league because of how much they return off their team, and that's a credit to their staff. I mean, there's no way without the culture he's built and the success that they've had that those players return, because for sure they had some really good opportunities in the portal that they turned down to stay.
Gerald Patterson is here tonight. He wants to know, Coach, how can the players stay disciplined against Troy on Wednesday night?
Lots of prayer. If you guys could pray, that'd be amazing. We're going to start first with our Almighty God and Lord. I mean, that's a big thing we spoke about when we take a look at last game, right? It's if you're going to beat the top teams in the league, it's the mental mistakes that kill you if you're also one of the best teams in the league. Because I thought our effort was good. When I look back on the game, I want to know the following. Did we play unselfish? I thought we played unselfish. Did we take the right shots? I thought we take the right shots. Did they out-tough us? No, they didn't out-tough us. We whooped them on the glass. Did our guys compete and play hard? Yeah. Did they try? Were their intentions good? Absolutely. Now, what beat us, in my opinion, outside of obviously missing some shots, are the mental mistakes. And so once again, JMU is coming off a really good season. They returned some key players off last year's team. And if you look at the mental mistakes that we messed up a switch that Cliff Davis got open for a wide 3, every time we made a mental mistake, especially some crucial ones, they punished us for it. And that comes down to some experience that they have. But I mean, that's something our guys brought in today, and we talked about, when we asked them, why did we lose the game? And their answer was mental mistakes. Great. Okay, we have to have fewer mental mistakes in this game against Troy because they're arguably better, more experienced, more connected, and further along. And they will punish you if you have a mental mistake. And, so it's something we're constantly on our guys about, and about their focus level, as Matt talked about, because it's the good teams, that's where they're going to beat you.
And then you wrap up the homestand Saturday at 2 against Texas State, the Texas State team that you beat in San Marcos a couple of weeks ago. And really, you talked about it after that game. The reason was you were able to out-tough them there. That's one of the better rebounding teams in the league, and you were, I think, plus 17 on the glass that night.
Yeah, it's as they come back, obviously their ability to force turnovers is something that scares us. Their toughness on the offensive glass. That's the thing, is it's one thing to be the toughest team on the floor. You literally have to be tough every night. It can't come and go. And we've done that recently. We've been the toughest team on the floor. We've won the rebounding margin in most of the games that we've played. But now, as you're in conference and you're going against Troy, well, that's their identity. And that's Texas State's identity. We've got to be able to continue, because what we want our guys to understand is this: if we're the best defensive rebounding team in the league and we're the best offensive rebounding team in the league, we're going to be into games regardless of how we shoot the ball, right? If we get limited to one shot and we can get multiple shot opportunities, it's going to be a close game. Now, there's some things that are going to break your way, and it's going to have to hold true against Texas State and Troy because of their toughness.
All right, a couple of questions before we get out of here real quick. Chris James is here, wants to know, how will the start of the season weigh in to be successful during conference play?
I mean, it's all experience. Since at the start of the season, we were able to gain a lot of experience, and I still don't think we've played our best. We're playing closer and closer to the way that we really want to play, but the way that we actually want to play, we still haven't reached that pinnacle performance yet. And so I think each game, the experience of being able to reflect on what was good, what was bad, what do we have to do better, and where do we have to continue to improve for each game has been a factor in our success. I believe our team has gotten better and better in terms of the way that we're playing over the course of the season.
All right, one more question, and I feel like you can go for a while on this one, but I'm going to see if you can do the 60-second version. Rick McKinney's here. He wants to know, do you think the NCAA will move to 4 quarters instead of the 2 halves? Do you like the idea?
It's literally the only place in the world that plays 2 halves. It's totally insane. Men's college basketball is crazy. It's the women's game is so far advanced compared to the men's. I mean, you can't advance the ball. It's halves. It's not quarters. And literally, I mean, I just went to my son's 3rd grade game right before it. You know, like they play quarters. I mean, it's totally crazy. I don't know if they'll change it. Nate Oates is on the rules committee. He texts me and he's trying to modernize the game because the reason is this. Like the answer is this is how we've always done it. And it's like, well, yeah, at one point we didn't use toilet paper either, but you know, there's been some advances in life.
All right, we're wrapping things up again. Troy Wednesday at 7, Texas State Saturday at 2. It's been a fun atmosphere the first 2 games of the homestand. That's something you're really trying to preach, just that family-friendly atmosphere.
It's been amazing. The support we've got has been huge. The gym is each game we're getting more and more fans. I think the Kids Zone has been a big hit. We've got Brett Bogle that's been in there working. We're trying to push the in-game experience. And I think the product that's being put on the floor from the men's and women's team is great. The women's team a little bit better because they're better than we are. But the product on the floor has been good. The in-game atmosphere has been great. And we need the fans out because it matters. It really, and I'm going to continue to say this, like, it's huge for us. It's huge for Coach Des and their team. You know, the teams feed off the energy that the community brings. And it's a big selling point that both our teams are able to make within the recruiting of, like, this area loves basketball. And when you guys come out and support the women's team and the men's team, like, we feel it, our players feel it, and it's a huge advantage. This is what I'm saying. If the gym wasn't as full against JMU, we'd probably lose by 12. Like, it's a solid 8 points. It's an 8-point advantage. When you go and you play at a big home court advantage, that, like, you can feel it. And though the home court advantage is real, when you've got fans that show up and are crazy in their support, and that's why, like, it means so much to Coach Des and us because you literally help us win the game. I mean, I think we lose by 12 to JMU without, if there's 1,000 less fans. Like, the energy they give us is huge. The energy they give the women's program is huge. We got to have you out there. It really means a lot to our programs.
All right, that's going to do it for us out here at Lost Pizza tonight. Hey, congratulations to Denise Bowman, Billy Holland, and Van Wilhoit. They're our winners of door prizes from Textbook Brokers. Big thanks to Ryan James producing for us.